Hey guys, how the fuck are ya? It's DoubleOhStatus here with another gameplay. This is Domination on Hijacked, but I'm not really here to talk too much about the gameplay. Now, I was asked recently by some friends, like, why wasn't I putting up my condolences and stuff like that for what happened in the Connecticut shooting? Now, there's people who were all over Twitter and Facebook putting out, oh, my prayers and condolences go out to these people and things of that nature. Now, I understand if you said that, if you have children yourself, obviously it's if it hit very close to home, you now don't really feel like schools are safe where they're supposed to be safe or give you the feeling of safety. And now, yeah, not even school is off limits. The thing that trying to understand, like, what exactly it is that people are trying to convey when they say thoughts and prayers and they don't have any, either one, they don't have any children of their own or nieces and nephews to account for, because everyone really understands it's a tragedy regardless, but you gotta be on the lookout for those people that they just say something just to say something. I'm definitely not one of those type of people. Like, yes, I was sad about what happened. There's no reason for them to have to go after little kids. Just no reason at all. These kids are not even had a chance to really do anything. Think of a career, like experience any of the high school crap that we've all gone through. Going to college, like they'll never get married. Stuff like that just really boggles your mind. Like, so yeah, going more back on topic, the people have really got pissed at the fact that people want to say something for the sake of saying it, and there's a lot of that going around. People would say thoughts and prayers sent out or whatever, but in reality it's like, what do you really mean by that? Like, are you gonna go out and support the families? Like, are you going to try to reach out, in these hard times? Like, these people really need the support. Saying our prayers and thoughts are with you doesn't say much, unless it's really coming from a genuinely heartfelt place where, like I said before, like you have children or you have nieces and nephews, and like that really just touched you, and just don't want people to end up being like these people that would just put up something just to, oh, there you go, I said something about it. Maybe people think better of me. And that's not the case. If that wasn't from a genuine place, like, you fearing, you having it really hit home for you, like, man, that could have been my kids' school. Like, you really shouldn't be saying anything. I'm not saying it to avoid your opinion, but that's the reason why I chose not to. If you look at my Twitter, Instagram, or even Facebook, it's, in the sense of that story particularly, for me, it's like media blackout. I say nothing about it. Towards the end of the day, I pretty much quoted a status of an Air Force friend of mine's friend, and he goes on to say pretty much about the exact same thing I said, and that's exactly how I felt. It's like, don't just say something to let people know that, oh, I heard about it, these are my 2 cents, and then, go on about your day. Again, like, this isn't exactly something that is like, 2 months old or like a week old or anything like that. I know people that right now are still shaken up, and they weren't even the parents or any, they weren't even related to the kids or teachers that this happened to, and they're like, man, like, a lot of the people are telling me they went home, like, they hugged their kids, they cried. Come on, you have kids that they probably don't even know what happened, or really think that they going to school that something like that would happen. And when a lot of them went home that day, they saw their parents either sad or actually break down and cry. Why? Because this is something that can happen anywhere. It's like, that's something for anyone to really think about the next time that you hear some kind of news and you just go out and just feel like you gotta say something just cause. You gotta take these things with a certain air of caution. It's like, how would you feel if that was your son or daughter, in the sense of either the kids or even the adults that died? How would you feel if you have a bunch of people telling you, oh, our sympathies and prayers are with you, and they're nowhere near the situation. You know, like they don't have kids of their own, or like their kids aren't teachers or anything like that. I mean, it kind of sounds a little insensitive. It's not exactly what I'm going for. Like I said, my thing is, don't just say something for the sake of saying something. If you really feel like that you have those people's thoughts in your prayers, you should do something. You know, reach out. I'm pretty sure that there should be. Again, it's not even something that has to be financial. Like, I'm not telling you to go out there and, you know, donate $20, $30, or even like 100 or 1,000, you know, to these families that are now, they have to bury their sons, their daughters, you know, kids or adults. It's still, you know, still tragic. It's just really sad. And to touch upon some of the things said in the friend of my friend's post, it's like you need to really take control of the stuff going on around you, because sometimes when things go on like bullying and stuff like that, people look at it as like a norm, and they're like, oh, you know, that's just normal, it's just kids being kids. No, it's not kids being kids. You're lucky if you actually in as yourself in person. Alright, double get some. 9 out of 10 times the bullying goes on when the grown-ups aren't around, and that's really when you gotta pay attention. Now, heading off track a bit from, you know, what happened with the shootings, I remember seeing a video maybe a week ago, or this past week. I remember seeing a video where it was, I believe it was like a daycare, and there was this, it's a bunch of little girls, babies, but probably can't even talk yet. And there was this, you know, there was an attendant who was just blatantly not paying attention, I guess. I mean, not to really follow her. She can't keep her eyes, you know, on everything. But it was a lot of negligence. Like there was a much older kid in the daycare, and he was going around punching this little girl, drop kicking her. And I mean, I know it probably sounds funny, but you watch the video, you be just disgusted that kind of stuff went on and unchecked. And being that the adults were not even 5 feet away and it was still happening, was like, wow. There's friends that I have that wouldn't leave, you know, in fear of something like that happening. Not necessarily because of the video, just in general. You see a lot of these nanny cams and stuff like that, and it pretty much puts you in fear. Like, you don't, unless it's a family member, you don't want to leave your children with somebody that you don't trust. If it's a brand new person, you just wouldn't feel safe leaving your child with them. And now going back to talk about the shootings, I ran across, I mean, it's a hoax, it's fake, it's something circulating around in the media, really well written, I believe, paragraph or two, and they obtained that it was words said by Morgan Freeman, but, you know, that's not true. But regardless, what the little 2 paragraphs said were very true. The media tend to really overglorify the killers, the shooters, the murderers. You have them say, oh, this is so-and-so racked up such a immense body count. If, you know, the totals hold out at the end, it'll be the second highest shooting or something, you know, of that nature. And, I mean, the message you're sending out is that here's this kid. I don't mean that he wasn't a nobody in the sense of, you know, where he was in his life, but I'm guessing he didn't feel like he was somebody, and he felt that the only way he make his mark on the world is, you know, to do something drastic, something like this. I mean, you'll have people talking about you for God knows how long, but if you look at all the media, the first thing they should have been doing is, I understand that it'd be insensitive to try to right away interview, let's say, teachers that survived the incident, students. I'm pretty sure these families are devastated. I mean, even the children that survived, they now have to deal with the psychological ramifications of what this person did. It's, you're 5, 6, maybe even 7 years old, and to say that you witnessed a murder, or that a friend that you met maybe last week or even this year, you will no longer see that person at 5, 6, or 7 years old, To be able to say that is truly a sad, sad thing. What the media should be doing is trying to use their power to support these families, help them get through this tragedy, get on their feet. I mean, who in their right mind is thinking, maybe sometime within the next month or so, I'm gonna have to bury my son or daughter, or anything like that. It's just very disturbing. Well, not every commentary is gonna be about sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes we gotta keep it real, and this is one of those times. Hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. DoubleOhStatus out.